August 4th, 2022, Daily Bread. Passage Numbers chapter 33, verse 1 through verse 49. Key verse 2. Title: Israel's Journey by Stages. Here are the stages in the journey of the Israelites when they came out of Egypt by divisions under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. At the Lord's command, Moses recorded the stages in their journey. This is their journey by stages. The Israelites set out from Rameses on the 15th day of the first month, the day after the Passover. They marched out, defiantly, in full view of all the Egyptians, who were bearing their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them, for the Lord had brought judgment on their gods. The Israelites left Rameses and camped at Sukkoth. They left Sukkoth and camped at Etham, on the edge of the desert. They left Etham, turned back to Pi Hahiroth, to the east of Baal Zephon, and camped near Migdol. They left Pi Hahiroth and passed through the sea into the desert, and when they had traveled for 3 days in the Desert of Etham, they camped at Marah. They left Marah and went to Elim, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They left Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They left the Red Sea and camped in the Desert of Zin. They left the Desert of Zin and camped at Dophkah. They left Dophkah and camped at Alush. They left Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They left Rephidim and camped in the Desert of Sinai. They left the Desert of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah. They left Kibroth Hattaavah and camped at Hazeroth. They left Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah. They left Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez. They left Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They left Libnah and camped at Rizah. They left Rizah and camped at Kehelathah. They left Kehelathah and camped at Mount Shepher. They left Mount Shepher and camped at Haradah. They left Haradah and camped at Makheleth. They left Makheleth and camped at Tahath. They left Tahath and camped at Terah. They left Terah and camped at Mithkah. They left Mithkah and camped at Hashmanah. They left Hashmanah and camped at Mosereth. They left Mosereth and camped at Bene-Jaakan. They left Bene-Jaakan and camped at Hor Haggidgad. They left Hor Haggidgad and camped at Jotbathah. They left Jotbathah and camped at Abrona. They left Abrona and camped at Ezion Geber. They left Ezion Geber and camped at Kadesh, in the Desert of Zin. They left Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor, on the border of Edom. At the Lord's command, Aaron the priest went up Mount Hor, where he died on the first day of the 5th month of the 40th year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite king Arad, who lived in the Negev of Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming. They left Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They left Zalmonah and camped at Punan. They left Punan and camped at Oboth. They left Oboth and camped at Ai Abarim, on the border of Moab. They left Ai Abarim and camped at Dibon Gad. They left Dibon Gad and camped at Almon Diblathaim. They left Almon Diblathaim and camped on the mountains of Abarim, near Nebo. They left the mountains of Abarim and camped on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho. There on the plains of Moab they camped along the Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth to Abel Shittim. Daily Bread Message. Moses recorded Israel's journey by stages. They left Rameses of Egypt right after the Passover, while the Egyptians were bearing their firstborn. They traveled through the 4 deserts, Deserts of Etham, Sin, Sinai, and Zin, and camped at 42 different places. Most of their way lay through the desert, which was uninhabited, untracked, and unfurnished, even with the basic necessities of human life. It displays the power and wisdom of God. By God's mighty and merciful guidance, they not only survived for 40 years, but came out as numerous and as vigorous as they went in. The listing of the journey served as a permanent memorial of the sin and rebellion of Israel, and of the faithfulness and long-suffering of God in leading them through the journey. God leads us through His way to make us His chosen people and a holy nation. When we look back on God's guidance in each stage of our life, we can recognize that God's way in bringing us to Himself is the best way, although it does not always seem to us the nearest way. Our memories are often elusive, but we need to remember how much the Lord our God has led us in this desert-like world so that we can continue our life of faith, following God's way thankfully. Prayer. Lord, thank you for leading my life journey through your words. Your way is always right. One word, journey through the desert.